So, hi and welcome to my first video. Like I said in the description of the channel, I am trying to replicate the collective traffic of the Finnish capital region as accurately as possible or as accurately as I please. The main reason why it is as accurately as I please is that I don't want to add in every single quirk in there, but I would also like to add railway stations which perhaps no longer exist. Because I'm a bit of a historic freak and I like to live in my imagination, I will imagine, you can imagine what you like, but I will imagine that I'm actually living in the 80s in this map. Although I am creating also current tracks which didn't exist in the 80s. But as you can clearly see, we are now at the Helsinki Central Railway Station, or the location where the Helsinki Central Railway Station should be located. And this is where we built our first platform. It's important to know that although I am currently building the Capital Region Railway Line A, this track will also be used by other lines. The funny thing here is that also I'm familiar with the game, but they've built a new version. So let's see how I get along with it. Anyways, all trains in Helsinki start from Central Railway Station and their first stop is Pasila, a couple of kilometers north of the main railway station. And this is exactly where I will build my second station. The track in question I'm building now is called the Leppävaara City Track, which is basically a track running from the Helsinki city center to the suburb of Leppävaara in Espoo, the neighboring municipality. And it is operated by the train line A, which stops at every stop. The city track was built, I can't really remember when it was built, but it's a much later addition than the main track. Like I said, I'm familiar with older versions of this game, but not with the newest version. It's been a while since I've played it, and I have to say the track behaves a bit differently than it used to do before, but let's not make this a problem. I will hopefully be able to do what I want here. Anyway, so it's the first stretch of track between the Central Railway Station and Pasila. And there will be multiple tracks here, but not quite yet. I don't know how the signals work in this version of the game, so I will just pretend to put them everywhere, because that's how you had to play the previous version. When you had millions of trains going through the tracks, they wouldn't move on until the previous train was past the next signal. So I'm going to build enough signals for smooth train traffic on this track, even if it would not be necessary in this version of the game. I will not start testing that right now. I will just go with what I am used to doing. Call me old-fashioned. If someone knows that this is unnecessary, please tell me before I spend countless hours on putting these signals on the tracks on my future lines, because there will be lots and lots of lines in the future. This track isn't a part of the main trunk route railway network in Finland. This track actually turns to the west towards Turku. And maybe my trains someday will reach Turku, but we're not quite there yet, especially as I'm only building the first track. there will be, and creating the first line there will be. Anyway, we're very close to Pasila now. There is the old train depot right there, and we've reached the station. Great. Oh, what's this? Yeah, oh, there's a double platform. Yeah, well, great. The next station isn't very far away. It's called Ilmala, and it's over here. And the funny thing with Ilmala is that only the A trains stop over here. So it's very, very small station, although the location is central, but it also does not have a Swedish name, which is fairly rare for a station in Finland. How did you pass that thing? This creates an interesting situation. I will just have to... The trains will just have to move slowly over here. As you can see, the destination between Pasila and Ilmala is very, very short. Doesn't bother me at all. The shorter the distance is, the less there is to build. But line A is not the only line using this track, so that's why I'm putting in all the signals to be able to run a smooth traffic during all hours of day and with all lines using the track, because once we build the track further, there will be, of course, more and more lines. Now that's Ilmala. The next stop is a bit of a special case, because it was opened way back in... Let me have a look. It's a defunct stop. It was opened in 1955 and closed in 1969, and after that the track was rebuilt so that the entire stop has been demolished. But like I said, I want to create that stop, and I will. And that's why we will have Haga over here. Don't ask me why I want to do this. I just want to do it this way. Actually, the station is in the middle of the Helsinki Central Park nowadays, which is quite a nice place to spend your free time. But there, we've managed to connect the track with the new station there. And as the track to Leppävaara is very, very short, we will have trains running here very shortly. But until that, let's build and build and build and place this. Oh, that went wrong. Place these stupid signals. There we go. The next station is a pretty big one, because like I said, not all trains stop in every station, but every single local train stops here. And as you can see, I write the names of the stations pretty quickly. That's because well, first of all, I live in the capital region. I know the area pretty well, and also I use these connections and the stations pretty often. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm creating very, very familiar tracks, and although you can just see the blueprints and the map and the roads and the signals, I can actually imagine, or I cannot imagine, I mean, but I can see the area which I'm creating with my very own eyes. Also, because I really know this thing by heart and don't have to look at maps and references all the time, I can keep on babbling while I do this. When we get to those lines, which I don't know that well, then things will get a lot slower and I will be a lot more quiet while doing these things. But there we have the Huopalahti station, and the stations on this line, like I said, are very, very close to each other. And here we have Valimo, or Gjuteriet, which has gotten its name from a very, very large metal kind of workshop nearby. Actually, originally the station served the workers of the workshop, but since years have passed, it has actually just been the workshop is still there, but the city has grown around it, and nowadays the stop serves a lot more people than just the workers of the factory. When we reach Gjuteriet, we only have 3 stops left, and then the first line is ready. So this one is really, really quick to be created. Or it's really quick to create this one, and I am pretty happy about it actually. The next stop over here is Pitanemäki. It's also quite a familiar stop for me. I go to practice my hobby pretty close to it. So that's what makes it so familiar. Although I rarely use the train, I usually use the bus, but that connection will also be created later on. So I am really, really, really at home right now with these connections and these tracks. This track is, like I said, it's the city track to Leppävaara, which has a lot of stops. There will be a track with a lot less stops next to it, but I will not build it yet because I have a lot of other stuff to do before we get there. And I am a fan of impossible projects, and I think creating the entire collective traffic of the capital region is pretty much an impossible project. But once again, who cares? I will actually have to check the location of that station. I am not that familiar with it, but okay, I got it all wrong. It's a bit further north. It's actually, let me see. No, wait, I will have to use the map. And this is what I meant when I said that evidently things will get a lot slower. Well, no, basically I was right. The station is right where I expected it to be. So this time the map was wrong, but like I said, things will get a lot slower when time progresses, when I start creating lines which I'm not very familiar with. And that is just something you will have to get used to. That's nothing special. But perhaps the videos will then get less. The tempo of the videos will go down, they will be longer, I will babble much less, I will just sit in silence and swear when the tracks don't go where they're supposed to go. And it will most likely be very irritating for you, but nobody is forced to watch this. I mean, I'm doing this for my own pleasure, but as I know there are other people out there who really, really want to see the world burn and someone creates something stupid very, very slowly, I thought I just might stream this and babble along all the same while doing it. When I see the spectator statistics, then the harsh reality will hit me when I realize nobody wants to watch this shit. But the funny thing here is we've now reached the end of the first line. This is Leppävaara station, which is also a major station where every single train on the track between Helsinki and Turku stops. And this is also a very familiar station for me. I also go to practice in this area when I'm doing my hobby. So, oh, no, wait a second. The track is not going there. This yellow line had me fooled because the track really is going here. Yes, that's correct. And there we go. And there we go. That's it. The first track has been created, and once very shortly I will also push the first trains in there. And I think this was actually quite a cheap track when I last checked the price tag of it. they've done something with the pricing system, although I have to admit, building tracks in Finland is extremely expensive. So I think in Finland, in reality, this one would have cost around 300 millions or something like that, but this is luckily not Finland. The train the railroad continues towards Turku over there. We are going to do a small loop in here, and the reason is that this is the terminus of the line A. This is once again not what it looks like in real life, but I do not give a damn about it because the most important thing for me, once again, is to, well, get things functioning in my own stupid way. So there. The track costs 18 million. Very, very well. That's no big price. And now we build it. And bingo. Ready to start the first line. It's called, let's name it, oh well, let's name it. I mean, it is called the line A, and I will use, in the capital region, I will use the basic price of 3.5 euros or dollars or whatever it is. Well, what are we actually using here? Yeah, we're using dollars. It's going to be 3.5 dollars. And the reason to that is that when, I mean, in reality, we have different zones. We have A, B, C, D, and D zones in the capital region, but to create these zones would be perhaps pretty difficult in this game. So instead, I will. Oh, by the way, the name of one station is still wrong. Instead of that, I will just use a flat tax or flat rate, and the rate comes from researches which show that if everybody would pay 3.5 euros for a ticket, then we could only have one zone. There we go. Let's go back to lines. So yeah, this is a very, very short line, very popular line, and the trains will run it every single 10 minutes. And as you can see, there is a lot of stuff over here, and this is because I use mods. And I will use mods until the very end. The trains, the local trains in Finland have 4 cars in one unit. You can toggle up to two units or 3 units together, but I will use a 4-car train. And as I said, I am living in my fantasy world in the 80s. I will use the colors and names of the SM1 trains, which were the local trains. Which were bought in the late 60s, early 70s, and which have mostly been phased out now. But in this world, I will still use them. While the line in reality takes around, or the interval is around 10 minutes, I will buy enough trains to operate it so that the interval would be less than 10 minutes. So we need 4 of them to run this very first line. And there we go. We have successfully created line A, and obviously there are trains operating somewhere, right? Right. Nope, they're still waiting to start. So let's give it a bit more speed. And there they are. There they are. The trains have picked their first passengers. The line is operating. All 4 trains are in there, and this concludes the first video. So in the following video, we will create line K, which runs from Helsinki all the way to Kerava, somewhere over here. And I would really like to create a shorter line in the beginning, but there is a very good reason why I want to create line K next. But that is the topic of my next video. So if you watched this far, thank you very much for watching, and see you around tomorrow. Bye.